Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. Welcome to the episode 3 of Coffee and Bricks, and today we're going to talk about simple rules to make your Lego MOCs look great. This is a live stream, so if you're around, please say hi in the chat. We want to make sure that you hear us loud and clear. All right, and if you are in the live chat, do let us know where you are and what time it is in your time zone. In fact, I'm going to turn on the chat on the live camera so everyone can see. And great to have you guys here. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, really important. You guys, Max Clark says, where has your brick wallpaper gone? Well, I'm traveling right now, so this is a mobile studio. I'm not in the regular Small Brick City studio, so we will have to make do, but we still have a fantastic live stream ready for you guys. As people come in, let me just say welcome once again, and if you did not, please do check out the replay of the brick design breakdown. That is a new weekday live stream, but with a completely different format, presentation, and concept. In this particular live stream, we talk about Lego building techniques and ideas. Now, I haven't decided whether to make this particular new live stream a regular series. The numbers have been modest. They haven't been bad, but they haven't been great. So if you would like the brick design breakdown to continue as a regular series, please head over to the replay, leave a comment or leave a comment here as well, and this will let me know whether it's popular enough to make it a series. It is quite different in concept to the live stream we're doing here, because this really is about a discussion topic and it's on camera, whereas for the brick design breakdown, I specifically wanted to do something different. So you know what, please let me know if you'd like to see this new live stream as a regular live stream. All right. Now, if you'd like to support this channel, it's really simple. Just head over to smallbrickcity.com/shop. Buy a couple of items over there. We've got building instructions, books, and some merchandise just for brick fans. And you can also support this by simply joining in the chat and liking this video. That's right, if you're on right now, just hit that like button. That is so simple. Super chats are appreciated. Now, what are super chats? In the live chat box, you'll see a $ icon. If you'd like, you can hit that $ icon and you can donate any money you like, and that's a super chat. So that will be appreciated. So many ways to support the channel, and of course, another way that you can support the channel is very simple. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel. I know we have lots of people who watch the live stream and watch our videos, but you don't hit the subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and turn on those notification notes, because you want to be notified when a video comes up. Now, one more thing I would suggest, if you like, head over to smallbrickcity.com and you can get a whole bunch of free Lego stuff. All right, you can download mini building plans for a house, a book preview, video tutorials, and posters. So lots to do at smallbrickcity.com as well. Now, I'd like to share something with you. Recently, I did a poll on my YouTube channel, that's the community page. I'm not sure if you saw it, and hopefully you participated, but let me show you the results. So this is what was shown, and I basically asked what sort of content you guys would like to see. Would you like to see Lego City updates, Lego City building and mock tutorials and guides, live streams, mocks, mods, and remock reviews, or all of above as you generally like the content? Now, look at the stats of the results. Pretty impressive. In 3 days, we had over 300 votes, so thank you to everyone who voted. But I'm sure you can look at these results and you know exactly what is popular and what people like to watch. I look at the stats in front of me and I come to one conclusion: live streams is number one. You know, we've been taught from a very young age, number one is always the best. Try to be the top 1%, be number one, and obviously you guys have spoken, and you guys want live streams to be number one. So I'm going to convert this channel to a live stream channel. Every single video we'll do now will be a live stream. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? judging by this, I think I'm generally on track in terms of the content we are producing. I would say that most of you guys do like the city building mocks and tutorial guides, and that's something we do a lot. Lego City guides, I think a lot of people do. And in terms of live streams, well, you know what? The live streams do cover all the above. So basically, don't worry, I will be producing content that you like. I will not deviate from that, and that's why I put the poll. So anytime we do a poll or we ask for feedback, please do so. Now we've got lots of people coming in. Let me just pull up the chat and just say hi to a few people as we start. And we have Lego Lemaniac, thank you very much. Galagate, of course, you are here. Brenda, Julian, Iceberg Bricks. Let's see, we have the Brick Patch. Hi, how are you doing there? Brick Smith, Manolis. Quite a lot of Bricksmith. I believe this is probably the first time we are chatting, at least on the live stream. And Eugene from earlier on, I believe Iron Man was here. Tayshawn, you're around. Ken, very good. I believe Ken is from Sydney. Jessica Lopez, thank you very much. Trudy Brick from Italy. And hey, if you just joined in the chat, please do let everyone know where you're from and what time it is. We always like to know where people are in the world. All right, so today we'll be talking about something pretty interesting, and I think you guys will like this particular topic because it will be useful. I'll be sharing with you 5 simple rules to make your Lego MOCs look great. Now, I'm not talking about complicated techniques or anything like that. I'm not talking about how to be a master Lego builder. I'm talking about simple rules that you can apply to your MOCs so that they look better than they are. Now, I know a lot of people might be thinking, well, in order for MOCs to look good, and I should mention that I'll be focusing more on Lego City building MOCs, not so much on things like castles or pirate ships or mechs, although I think the same rules do apply more or less. But I'll generally be talking about Lego City builds. So many people think that in order for a MOC to be impressive, to look great, it has to be huge. It must be really intricate. You must use 1,000 different parts so that it looks like it's really varied and highly textured. Now, of course, there are a lot of MOCs which do look great as a result of being big, being impressive, and using lots of parts. But I'm really talking about simple rules and techniques you can apply regardless of how big your MOC is. If you're familiar with our channel, you know that size doesn't always really matter. You do not need to have a huge, gigantic MOC in order for it to be considered great or good. You can have something small and modest because it's really all in the details and how you put things together, and that's what I'll be talking about. So simple rules to make your MOCs look great. And why not? Why don't we just start with rule number 1? And rule number 1 is the use of colors. Use up to 3 complementary colors in a single build. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, a lot of times I see people use a whole bunch of colors in a build, or they use only one color, or they use colors that don't necessarily get together or go together well. And that really means a color palette. What sort of colors go well together and what looks great together. Now, you might be looking at a build, let's say like the Ninjago City, and you might say, hey, that uses a whole bunch of colors, and that's why it looks great. Just so many things going on. But remember, Ninjago City is really a city, meaning it's made up of many builds put together to create a display piece. But if you look at each individual shop or stall, you'll be able to see that there's actually consistency within each stall. There's really a specific color scheme within that particular small store that goes together, and there may only be 1, 2, or 3. And I generally like to go with the rule of 3, not just in colors, but a lot of things in life, because the rule of 3 is generally a good rule to go by. So use up to 3 complementary colors in a single build. But do not worry, I am going to give you some examples, so we won't be talking abstractly. But let me talk about rule number 2 first before I show you a visual example. Rule number 2 is very simple, and that is to break up flat surfaces. Here we go. break up flat surfaces. And that means when you look at a particular build, when you build, let's say, a building and you have a blank wall, that particular wall can be pretty boring if it's just one flat piece of layers of brick put together to create the wall. You want to break up the surface as much as you can to make it interesting. So those are the first two rules. 3 complementary colors, and that is make sure that these colors go together and use a maximum out of 3. In fact, I would say use all 3, and you know what I mean when I show it to you in the example. And of course, number 2 would be to break up flat surfaces. Now let me show you a small simple mock, and you'll be surprised because this is a mock that I typically get from people. People would send me photographs or videos of the mocks, and I really appreciate that. If you'd like to send me your mock, you can reach out to me on Instagram. That's generally the easiest way to send me photographs as well. And they'll send me pictures of their mock and ask me to give comments and ask how I can improve them. And a lot of the mocks I found generally have certain similar characteristics, and it's got to do with the basic rules I'm covering. And let me show you a basic house that I might get from someone. So this is not from a subscriber, but I recreated it based on what I get from a lot of people. So this is a basic house. It's very small. Now, do not worry about the size because we aren't really focusing on the size of the mock here. We're just talking about the concept. In terms of a house, it's very straightforward and it's got all the characteristics of a house. It is structurally well built, so that's not the problem. And the size is nice. It's got windows, it's got a door, and it's got a roof. So obviously, when you look at it, you can tell that this is a house. It's got quite a few colors, starting with the red brick, yellow brick, dark gray brick, light gray, plates, dark blue roof pieces, the white windows, and the white door. So basically, there are about 5 or 6 colors, depending on whether you consider gray a color of black. So let's just assume you consider gray and black to be from the same color tone because gray is basically a lighter version of black. So let's assume that you still have 1 color in red, 2 in yellow, gray and black and light gray, considered the 3rd color. We've got the blue roof and we've got the white windows and door. So that's 5 different colors within this particular build. Personally, I think that's too much. Unless there is a particular reason you want to do this. Generally, when I build, I prefer to build something that is realistic, something that you might find in a real Lego city or real city, and you're replicating it for your Lego city. And the colors that you see in front of you also kind of clash, I think. Red and yellow could go well together, strong primary colors, but then you've got the dark blue and the gray. I think it doesn't work, in my opinion, personally. So in terms of colors, I feel there are too many colors here and the colors don't really complement each other. And going to the second rule, which is break up the flat surfaces. In this case, I think there is some breaking out of the flat surfaces. If you look at the front, there's the door, there's this use of dark gray masonry bricks, and on the side, there's the window. So it does break it out, but everything is still kind of flat. So that's why I think it's boring. From the ground up all the way to the roof, it's flat. And then when we get to the roof, it just tapers up to the top because it is a pitch roof. So I think these can be improved if we just look at the first 2 rules. That is to stick with 3 colors and then try to break up the flat surface. Now, let me show you a house that I have now created following my simple rules. And here's this house. So it's similar in size, but you can see the color palette is much more realistic and muted. I do have 3 colors in terms of gray, white, and blue, but of course white is my base color. So anytime you want to mix different colors together, you also want to have a base color, something that will be the predominant color, and then the other colors are to support it. So when I build, I tend to try to do a foundation of darker color brick. In this case, the dark gray masonry brick at the bottom, and then it moves up to the white brick, and then we have the color accents of the gray as well as the dark blue roof. And if you compare it to the original small house, you can see, or at least in my opinion, I think it looks better. It looks more realistic. One other thing I should mention is also rule number 2, which is the breaking up of the flat surfaces. In this case, I've put modified rail pieces under the windows, and that just adds a bit of texture. It breaks up that smooth surface as we go up to the roof. So I think that really helps. The other thing you probably will have noticed is that the base plate this White House sits on is larger than the base plate that we used in the original small build. And I think it's generally really important, and it just adds so much. And even just looking at these two houses, you can see when you have a base plate that is bigger than your build, it actually looks much better. And that's actually my third rule as well. So my third rule is do not build the mock to the edges of the base plate. So always try to leave a border in front, behind. Now, you may not be able to leave it on the sides if you're building, let's say, a modular building, which is inset, and you want to place it between two builds. So you would then, of course, build all the way to the edge of the base plate. However, if you want to just build a house, which is a modular building, you don't want to leave a front portion, like for a front sidewalk, and something for the back. So that's basically 3 rules, and I'm going to show you now another example of how you can improve the White House that I built. And that is to go with the rule 2 of breaking up the flat edges, and I've done so by replacing the roof. Now look at this. I've broken up the flat surfaces on the left and right of the house by extending the roof out from over the edges on the left and right. So this goes with the rule 2 of breaking up flat surfaces and just gives much more visual and angular texture to your build and your mock. And I think it looks much better. Don't you guys agree? So with the rail plate, with this overextended roof, it really does help. But one thing when I look at this personally, I feel that the proportion isn't right. So anytime you build, you want to work with a good proportion. In this case, I feel that the roof is a bit too high when you compare it to the height of the house. So see what happens when I actually change the roof here. Now I've done 2 things. I have actually lowered the roof by using longer plates or tiles, these roof bricks rather. And I have also increased the overhang over the side. And it's also much shorter in relation to the height of the house. And now it looks visually even better. And that's because the aesthetic proportion is better, in my opinion. So when you do a build, you want to think about aesthetic proportion. Now with the oversized base plate that the builder is built on, and now you have the roof which overhangs over the house itself, and we also have the modified rail plates, I think this just gives so much more texture and makes it much more interesting. So that's the other rule, and that's rule number 4, and that is to keep your builds aesthetically proportionate. So I hope you enjoy this. I still have one more rule, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And it's a rule which I think really will make all the difference in your mocks if you follow the first 4 rules. So if you follow the first 4 rules, we'll go to the final rule. And do you have any idea what the final rule is? My final rule is add detailing to all sides of the mock. Now, notice I wrote all sides, and when I mean all sides, I really mean all sides. That means you not only want to do the walls of your building, you want to do the roof, you want to do the floor, you want to do the inside. Basically, all surfaces of your mock should be detailed, and this would generally help make your mock look better. So let me give you an example with the White House again. So I'm gonna add details already by using the different colored bricks and the masonry bricks and the modified rail plate, the different tones of colors in the roof. That's already an example of a detail. But I'm going to add more detail. You might notice those are modified bricks in the front. So I've got 2 studs in the front, and that's so that I can take my box of little parts and add to this particular build to add detail. So what I'm going to do is take these telescope parts with trans yellow studs, and I'm going to have them act as little lights just clipped on in the front. So this is rule 2 as well, because I'm breaking up that flat surface for the front to make it visually more interesting. And I'm also following rule 5, which is adding detail. Now I'm adding a bit of a backyard garden. I'm using a different color. You might be thinking, hey, you're violating the rule. This is a fourth color. Well, because this is detail and it's just add as enhancement, it's really not part of the real full build. I think it's fine to break the rule and add a different color for texture. And notice I'm using different parts, different pieces and colors to add texture almost in a random fashion so that it really looks realistic as a back garden. See, that's the good thing about not building your mock to the edges of the base plate as well. Now you have a surface to add details to. So for the front and the sides, I'm also adding these light gray tiles, which will act as kind of a sidewalk or just kind of some kind of a footpath around the house that leads to the little backyard. And I've also added a trash can over there. And you can see that does add to the overall detailing of the mock. Now remember I said all surfaces, so all surfaces includes the top. So notice there are studs there. So I generally always like to cover all studs. So I'm going to use some tiles to cover the studs. Now you could of course use dark red tiles, but I just chose you to use dark gray so that's easier to see as well. And what I've built here is a little chimney using 2 round bricks on a 1x2 plate and this grill plate here. And this will just go on. And now I've added detail and I've broken up the flat surface of the roof as well to create that visual texture. So now you can see how all this comes together and it really works to make a mock look good. Now let's see if we can bring that basic house back. And now we just look at the two, they're essentially the same structure. And that's how I started off. I started with this basic structure, but I followed the rules. Rule number 1, just to stick to 3 colors and 3 different, you can use different tones of the same 3 colors. Use a base color when you build your mock. Rule number 2, break up flat surfaces to create visual texture. Rule number 3 is do not build your mock all the way to the edges of the base plate. Rule number 4, always build with aesthetic proportion in mind. And finally, of course, the last rule, that is to always detail your mocks and make it interesting. Those are the 5 simple rules. If you follow those rules, I can almost guarantee your mocks will look better. And these are rules that I follow, even if I'm building a simple mock or a complicated mock. I always follow these rules. The rules are fundamental. Even if you get more complex, you're going to add more parts, add more texture, you would follow these rules. And if you're building a city, you'd follow the same rules because each individual build will follow the same rules to make it look good. So what do you guys think? I'm going to head over to the chat now. If you just joined us, welcome to this live stream. This is episode 3 of Coffee and Bricks. So let's turn on the chat so that everyone can see it. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. And you can support the channel by liking this video stream. That's the easiest thing you can do. And participate in the live chat as well. I'll be answering some questions now. So I'm going to be looking at the chats for the first time in a bit. All right. So Kawi, hi, how are you doing? The Lutz talked about the toilet. Yep, no toilet. I didn't do any interiors here. Tayshawn, he's talking to Kawi. Makita, thank you so much. You like the rules. And you guys talking among yourself, which is really good. Yes, the details make a difference. ENS Bricks, thank you very much for joining us. The Lutz says, I was late, so missed the first rules. Can you recap just the title of the rules? Okay, I'll do that before the end of the video, just so that everyone can know what the rules are. And Ken says, do you make train tunnels at all? No, I have not, mainly because I don't have the space, but I will in time to come. And I'm also not really a huge train guy, so don't do much trains. Galagate says, where are you today? I look tired. Do I look tired? And maybe the lighting is brighter. And it's 12:26 a.m. here, so maybe. Darius Dojo, thank you very much for joining us. FMR Brick Films, thank you guys. All right. So tell you what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the Small Brick City Spotlight. That's usually where I spotlight either some mocks or just something interesting, or I just want to call attention to something. So this spotlight, if you are a regular to the channel, I'm sure you guys actually have already seen it. But for those who are new, this spotlight may be good for you. And after the spotlight, I will be answering more questions. So keep your questions for later and hit me up with the questions, whether it's regarding the rules of how to make your mocks look better or anything you want to chat about. So let me look for the spotlight and we'll pull it up so everyone can see. And here's the items I'm spotlighting. I'm actually spotlighting 3 items. This is my food truck, which I'm pretty happy with, and it's gotten great response. Lots of people like it. I personally like the size. You know, I've seen food trucks like this in Malaysia, this specific size, very stout and short. So it is realistic. And now you're looking at the police post, which is a small 16 by 32 stud build. And it's of course detailed on the interior as well. It's designed to be just a mini police station, or what we in Singapore here call a police post. And some of you guys might call it an outpost. It's got a little jail and a reception and all kinds of things. The third is this post office. So this is my single story 16 by 32 half modular size post office. It's also detailed on the interior. Now, the reason why I'm spotlighting this is because many people have been asking for instructions for these 3 builds, and we have been working on them. So I'm happy to say that next week, I would say probably by the next brick design breakdown live stream, so I would say by Wednesday, maybe even earlier, we will have the building instructions for these 3 builds at smallbrickcity.com/shop. So if you're interested to buy the instructions, you'll be able to get the post office, the food truck, and the police post. And of course, we've got a whole bunch of other small builds and mini modular buildings. And if you haven't checked out our building instructions before, do head over to smallbrickcity.com/shop after this, and you can see all the instructions there. And if you're wondering what the quality of the instructions are, how detailed they are, and how do we actually put them together, I recommend you just head over to smallbrickcity.com as well. Subscribe to the website, so it's different from the YouTube channel. Just subscribe to the website and you'll get a download for the mini house building instructions. So that will be a good sample to show you how detailed we go into our instructions. We give a parts list as well, and we also give it in XML format, so you can upload it to Bricklink to get all the parts list easily as well. So that's the Small Brick City Spotlight, really spotlighting these 3 builds and instructions we are putting together. And if you just want to have a look at the videos, just go to my videos playlist, or go to the videos, the list, and just type in, post office or police post or food truck, and you can watch the review videos of those particular builds if you have missed that. All right, let's head over back to the chat. So what are we talking about now? Manola says, are you cooking also as good Asian food as mocks? Annie is the great cook, and she cooks amazingly all cuisines. I do cook as well, but yeah, ironically, I'm not so much into Asian food. But Annie is the great cook, and she can cook all kinds of cuisines. ENS Brick says, you're 12 hours behind. No, I'm probably 12 hours in front, because except for Australia, New Zealand, all you guys are behind us. So I'm actually in the future, so I can tell you your future. Max says, I think the good rules are quite general and thus generally applicable. These rules are straightforward and can be applied. Thank you very much. And I should just quickly recap the rules. In case you just joined us, this live stream and episode of Coffee and Bricks was all about the simple rules you can follow to make your mocks look great. And as a quick recap, rule number 1 is use up to 3 complementary colors in a single build. And I'll also expand on that and say that you should use 1 base color. So 1 color will be the main primary color, and you would use the other colors to be supporting colors to the build. And it's okay to use different tones of 3 colors. So you may end up with different shades of the colors, but that's perfectly fine. Rule 2 is to break up flat surfaces, and that means to add visual variety and texture, make your builds look more 3D. Rule number 3, do not build the mock to the edges of the base plate. Leave some room so you can add detailing all around. Rule number 4, keep your builds aesthetically proportionate. Now, there's no real formula you can use for this, so it's really about your gut feeling. And you, by just kind of messing around and a trial and error, you'll be able to see that something looks more aesthetically proportionate. But as I think as a general rule to this rule, if you're building, let's say, a house, you generally want the walls of the house to be the biggest and highest part of the house. The roof should not be taller than the house, unless of course you're building something special like a cathedral. And rule number 5, add detailing to all sides of your mock, and that means the top side, the sides, the floor, the interior, anywhere you can think of, leave no stud unturned. And those are the 5 rules for making your mocks look great. Okay, let's go back to the chats. The loots. Nice. Curious, any chance for a big bundle or coupon for instructions? Yep, I might do that. Actually, stay tuned. I might do a promo. Probably it'll be a bundle package in the sense like if you spend a certain amount, we will give you a discount off that. We definitely can do that. So I'll do that when we launch the 3 new instructions. The golden ratio. Yep, you can look for the golden ratio. That is true. And you guys should also look for color palettes. Basically, look for color wheels and see what different colors go together. So all this has been scientifically proven by many people. So you can check out what are golden ratios in terms of putting things together, and also look at color palettes and color wheels to see what colors go best for different things. Brick by Brick asks, have you made a school for your city? No, I have not, and the reason is a school takes up a lot of space if you want to make it minifig scale. So I have a small brick city, and even if I had a bigger brick city, if I wanted to make a school really to scale, it would be pretty big. So I probably wouldn't do that because it would be too big. David Lego Lab, hi, how are you doing? Kawi says, I might try to create mocks and sell instructions this summer. Awesome. I look forward to that. And let's go back up a bit. FMR Brick Film says he's cooking a Lego cake. Now, do you mean you're building a Lego cake out of bricks, or you're actually baking a real cake that looks like a Lego brick? Brenda, glad you like the post office. John, thank you so much. Glad you're excited as well. Annie says, that's right, brick by brick. We do have a pastry school for now in our city. That's right. It's 1 floor of the mini modular building of the ice cream parlor. So the top floor is a pastry school. Kawi likes the tips. Thank you very much. Tayshawn says he's going to be building a mock on a 64 by 32 stud base plate. That is big. What are you going to be building, Tayshawn? And Daryl's Dojo, he says he's going to make a video on his Lego store mock. Okay, so you're going off. Okay, and I'll just give a shout out to Daryl's Dojo. He's been a long-time subscriber to Small Brick City. Head over to his channel, subscribe to his channel. He is busy trying to build a mock, and he's been keeping me progress on his Lego store. And I think he's doing a great job. So do him and me a favor, head over to Daryl's Dojo channel and give him a sub and a shout out as well. LVA Bricks, how are you doing? Galagate says, I can build a nursery. Having a nursery means I'll need many small baby minifigs or small kid minifigs, and it'll just be too noisy. So no, I'm not going to build a nursery. Galvon has asked, have I thought about building a superhero hideout? No, I think that's a pretty good idea. I might think of a hideout or something along those lines. That's a good idea. Ken asks, have you made any Lego vending machines? I have. You can check out my videos and look for a Lego vending machine, and in my video on sticker discussions. So if you check out a video on, I think it's should custom stickers be used in Lego City or something along those lines, I also show different vending machines, some using fully printed custom stickers and some just brick built. So have a look at that. Dejo B-Tube, can we see an updated tour of your city? I did a recent video for the Brick Beach part of Small Brick City. So that was out just probably 2 weeks ago. You can check that out. And I'll be working on Metro City pretty soon. Tayshawn says he'll be working on a huge hotel mock. Look forward to that. Fantastic. FMR Bricks, you baked a real cake. Fantastic. Could you please send some over? ENS Brick says he wants to make more videos. Okay, great. We look forward to that. John, thanks for the compliments. Glad you like the videos. Lego Maniac says, just fill the nursery with sugar. We'll keep them quiet. Trudy Brick says, how do you align different levels of the plates? 8 by 8 and 32 by 2. Okay, I think what you're talking about are the thinner base plates. So, I guess, yeah, base plates can be a bit confusing because when we talk about base plates, it could refer to the base of a mock. That means the plate you're using for the mock, or the thin base plates that you can buy or comes with some Lego sets. So first of all the sets or all the base plates that I use in my Lego City are the thin sort. So even if I have an 8 by 8 plate, it is an 8 by 8 plate because Lego does sell the 8 by 8 plate. It comes with some sets, but I bought them from Bricklink. So that's how they level up. I don't use the thick base plate for my Lego City. Of course, I might do so in some mocks or if I'm doing a video tutorial for educational purposes, but generally all the builds in my city are using the flat plates or the thinner plates. And if I need custom sizes like for my modular buildings, the tiny modular buildings which are 8 by 32 studs, then I cut the base plates. So all the base plates are the same. But even if you have to use a thicker base plate for your Lego City and it's a bit out of line, I don't think it's a big deal. In real life, just look at your real city. Nothing is aligned, right? Everything is on different levels. So I don't think it's a huge deal. Mahan says, I hate how people forget and don't think about plant life. Okay, good point. It's true. Actually, nature and adding planters and flowers and stuff really help break up that concrete feel of your Lego city. So if you're building a Lego city or many mocks of buildings, putting in plants and flowers, and because there's so many different plant parts, it just adds that visual texture to your city or your builds. So Jude 20, hi, how are you doing? Galagate asks, am I going to do that Taylor Spy Store? I think I will do it. I like the concept. I just haven't thought about the execution. And I'm traveling these couple of days. So definitely won't be working on anything till at least mid next week. Oh, Ken was saying, I was talking about vending machines that work. So are you talking about life-size vending machines like that can dispense sweets and stuff? Or are you talking about a minifig scale vending machine that works? And if you're talking about the latter, I did show how to build a standalone minifig scale vending machine that works, which I actually extracted out from the Ninjago City. And that also is available in my videos. You can look for that. But if it's a life-size vending machine, no, I have not built that. And I don't think I will build that, at least not in the near foreseeable future. Manolis says he would like to see the post office, police, and Angels of Mercy medical center in my city. Yes. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to finish that Angel of Mercy medical center. I have put up one video recently which shows me building the second floor. I've got another video ready to go, which is the detailing of the second floor, and finally a review of the 2-story modular building. And then I have to renovate it completely because I'm going to take out the stairs and put in an elevator. So that's another at least 1 or 2 videos. And when I complete the Angel of Mercy 2-story modular building with elevator, I will then put them all in my city and I'll do a Metro City update. So that should come to you within maybe 10 days or definitely 2 weeks, again, depending on how busy I get. Train station would be a great idea. Well, I do have a train station in Metro City. I converted the Ghostbusters fire station into an elevated train station. You can check that out. So you're currently working on a Kit Kat vending machine that takes coins and gives you a Kit Kat. Well, when you do build it, do let us know. I'd like to see that. Galagate says, you don't need a baby minifix or nursery. It's more like older kids, so no need to change nappies. Older kids means they run around, they get in trouble, they fall off and they die. So no, I still don't want a nursery. Let's see who we have. Everyone's talking amongst everyone. Great. Brenda, do you always use gray base plates in the city? Well, we're talking about mocks for buildings. I like to generally, I try to, but I've also used brown and light tan because I don't have so many gray base plates. But I would say generally for buildings, I like to use a gray base plate. And of course, if you're building something that's supposed to be built on grass or whatever, I would use green. And I never liked light tan color base plates, or I don't like light tan color bricks. And I think someone like Kawi Creations, Kawi will know, I don't like the light tan color in general, but they fit a beach. So that's the only time I think they should be used. Bricksonville, hey! Bricksonville, thank you so much for being here. And I'm not sure if you got my email. I did get your sig fig. I was supposed to show it, but I don't have it with me right now. But Bricksonville sent me his sig fig, so expect to see him in the Metro City update as well. And Bricksonville, I should mention that our sig figs have the same hair and almost the same face, so they're almost interchangeable. Clorox Bleach, hi, how are you doing? I know you're in Malaysia. Gallagher says, I still want more remarks of older sets. Yeah, I think I should do a remark of older sets. So a remark means a remake, or that's the term I use to talk about taking an older set, keeping the essence of the build, and remaking it or remocking it. And the remarks are funny. I think there's some people who really like them, and then most people just are neutral towards them. So let's see. That's why I don't do as many remarks. And that's another reason I don't do so many small build tutorials as well. I personally like to do the small build tutorials. I know there's some people who really love the small build tutorials, but they are always the lowest viewed videos of my channel. So that's why I don't do them as much. Clorox Bleach says, my favorite Lego channel are you and Jang Bricks. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Who's Jang Bricks, by the way? How can I send you my sig fig? Everyone's asking. Reach out to me on Instagram, private message me, or you can email me at build@smallbrickcity.com. So build@smallbrickcity.com. I'm just putting that in the comments so that you guys can send me an email if you like. And then we can discuss how you can send me the sig figs. Jang Bricks has a huge city. Yes, he does. Great city. And he's actually got much more than that. If you've seen videos from Beyond the Brick that they did with him, he's got rooms for all his different themed creations. So really pretty fanatical. I think he might have a problem. Don't tell him I said that. Ingrid, hi there. Thank you. You made it almost to the end of the live stream. We'll be wrapping up in a few minutes because I do like to keep these to 45 minutes. But if you're enjoying the stream, before you go, please let me know if you are enjoying the content, the format, and the presentation for Coffee and Bricks. So Coffee and Bricks is this live stream that you're watching. So I generally will pick one central topic to talk about. I'll do a bit of preparation, as you can see from the videos and slides that I prepared. And I try to give you guys useful content because I know your time is valuable, and I want to give you something that, when you join this live stream, you know that you're going to take away something beyond just being entertained. Hopefully you're also educated and maybe inspired. So that's my personal goal for the live streams. And if you like this, please let me know in the comments, whether it's the live chat or the comments if you're watching the replay. And if you've got any suggestions or you have any feedback, please let me know as well. Then we can improve the live stream and it'll be better for everyone. But generally, yes, I do like to keep the live streams to about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, and that's just to make it nice, short and sweet, so that everyone can just watch through the whole thing and go about your day. So let's answer the last couple of questions. ENS Brick says, it's about the time the time is right for you. Where are you based, ENS Bricks? Which country are you from? Trudy, thanks. I'm glad you like the format. Brenda, you just bought the Corner Deli. Oh, that's a great set. I'm glad you got that. Gallagher, when is your next LEGO convention in Singapore? I'm not sure. They are definitely going to do one next year, and I've been invited for that. And the great thing is, since I went for the last convention, people have always been in contact with me, inviting me to different LUG meetings and groups, but I haven't gone to any yet because I've been busy, but definitely more integrated with the local community in Singapore. But I'll definitely keep you guys updated. You're on the East Coast in the US, so it's probably quite early for you. My guess it's about 7 a.m. maybe 7, 8 a.m. Well, guys, last questions, fire away. If not, we will be ending the stream. So, just to wrap up, guys, please remember I do have a weekday live stream. I will be doing the next one, definitely. I haven't decided to make it a regular series, but next, either Wednesday or Thursday, and it will not be during this time. It will be my time at about 10 a.m., which means it will be the night time for the guys in the US. In Europe, you'll be sleeping, so don't bother. You watch the replay. And it's called the Brick Design Breakdown. It is a different kind of live stream where we'll be focusing on Lego building techniques and mock ideas. So do join in for the live stream. Just be sure to subscribe to the channel and just wait for notifications. And if you come to the channel, you'll also see the scheduled video for the live stream. So I appreciate it if you be there, because the numbers aren't as good as Coffee and Bricks, but not too bad. But I'd like to know more feedback and whether people are interested in the brick design breakdown. Monolith says he likes the streams. If you can't make it, watch us the replay. I appreciate that. Ken says I should come to Sydney sometime. Yeah, the last time I was in Sydney was 2005. So that's some time ago. So, and I do know quite a few people in Sydney, so might make a trip in the near future. Clorox Bleach says, I finally own the 3179 light repair truck and the 7286 police van. Fantastic, congratulations. I think in Malaysia, they're having a May Madness sale. So things are going up to 40% off. So you should check it out. Both in the Lego stores and I believe even Mighty Utan. So I think all the certified Lego stores. ENS Brick says it's almost 1 p.m. here. Okay, sorry. So it's probably the West Coast, which is earlier. So East Coast, you're about just 12 hours before me. Eugene asks tips on how to get cheap Lego. Steal. Break into someone's house. Break into Jang Brick's house and steal all his Lego. Yeah, I know. Clorox, I was talking to ENS Bricks that it's 1 p.m. Clorox, yeah, I know. Malaysia, same time as Singapore, almost 1 a.m. Galvon says, what about a vid of roof detail with funky style bricks? It's possible. I've done a video on 7 different roof designs, I believe, or 5. So check out that video. I have done a video with a variety of roof builds. Maybe I've covered something there. So check that out. John says, it's the first time watching you live. Oh, thank you very much. And you're from Ireland? Oh, I didn't know that. So Greg, say hi to Conor McGregor for me. Jeremy Green, he's working on a comic book shop mock. Do you have any ideas of furniture or decorating? Well, I'll just say, just think of a normal comic book shop. There's always lots of superhero toys and memorabilia and displays. So that's a good use to take all those superhero parts. Of course, you need boxes and towels for comics, make it colorful. And you can even put a full-scale minifig like a Stormtrooper or Iron Man, because that looks like a mannequin. So that's what I'll do for a comic book shop. Ingrid, it's 12:47 in Massachusetts, well, all the way from Boston. Thank you very much for joining us. Clorox Bleach, come to Malaysia. You'll be surprised I'm in Malaysia more often than you think. The Lutes, cheap brick are found buying bulk bricks. Yes. So seriously, I should answer about the cheap bricks. It really depends where you are. If you're in a big domestic market, like I'd say North America, the UK, maybe Australia, because I've heard Greg, GJ Bricks, he gets some good deals from time to time from Facebook marketplaces. You get a lot of bulk lots. People would sell used Lego, and I've bought it before. And I bought it from the US. The problem is, by the time they ship it to me, it no longer becomes cheap because shipping is very expensive. But if you live within that country and people are selling lots of old Lego, to me, that's the best way to buy cheap Lego. And because if you're living domestically and shipping is not expensive, you really get good bang for your buck. So if you really want cheap Lego, that's the best way to go. But of course, those are used Legos. You will have to sterilize them and make sure there are no killer germs. But that's the best way to get cheap Lego. If not, wait for official sets to be on great discounts, like 40% off. Some departmental stores and even some shops like even Toys R Us and some Lego shops who have discounts from time to time. If you can get something from 40% off, that's a good deal. And that's how you get cheap Lego. Brenda, do you ever bring your magic act to Vancouver, Canada? No, I've been to Vancouver and Canada before, but not to perform. Just a bit too far. Many great illusionists in North America. So my main market is Asia. Asia Pacific, Middle East, and sometimes Europe. Thanks, Bricksmith. Ken, you got a lot of modular buildings. Fantastic. And your comics, yep, great. Galvan, you said your comic shop has 2x2 tiles. Fantastic. Eugene says, I'll break into Jang Brick's house. Great. Please share your loot. And Clorox Bleach says, yep, you got the stuff $25. That's great. You got it for 25 Sing. Not too bad. I don't buy from anything from those stores or Lego stores. Fine. But sometimes they do have discounts. Yeah, Max, I was thinking about the Big Bang Theory as well. But, they just had the series finale. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched the last couple of episodes. So I didn't want anyone to spoil it. That's why I didn't bring up Big Bang Theory. So we won't talk about Big Bang Theory. All right, Jeremy, great, fantastic. And the loot says, where I live, I'm able to buy Lego at $5 a pound. That's cheap. That's great. And you bought 80 pounds. 80 pounds would be about 35 kg. That's a lot of Lego. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up my stream. I'm going to finish this last question, and that's from Eugene. How do I sort your Lego like in your video from MOCs to start to finish? Okay, so my Lego sorting technique, my organization and storage technique is all top secret. I haven't shared it yet. I haven't given out this secret. It is, and I've mentioned this several times, it is quite different from how most people sort it out. I'm sure there are other people in the world who sort it out in this way, but I haven't seen much people share it. And I'll do that only in a special video. I do not know when that video is, but I'll share the sorting, organization, and storage in some special video, maybe a live stream, who knows, but that's a top secret for now. Well, thanks guys, and thank you very much everyone who enjoyed the live stream, and thank you all those who like it and like the format and all the feedback. So keep it up. Lego Sonic Brick also in Singapore. Well, thank you very much for jumping by. So guys and girls, thank you so much. And once again, before you go, as always, I say, support the channel in different ways. You can, best way, head over to smallbrickcity.com and just go and, support any one of our products that you can buy, whether it's building instructions, books, or even merchandise. And of course, you can also just download free stuff if you just want freebies. So give all your feedback. If you're watching this replay, please leave comments as well. We want to improve this live stream for you guys. You guys have been great, awesome as always. Thank you so much. Good night, good afternoon, good morning.